Hey, what's going on, everybody? Eric with Morris 4x4 Center. Thanks for tuning in. And today we have got Bill Vickers from Alpine in the house, and they've brought their brand new Wrangler Restyle units into Morris 4x4 Center to talk about and show you guys. They've got a ton of key features and a few that you guys have been asking for. Bill, thanks for coming. We appreciate it. And why don't you tell them a little bit about this Restyle unit?
Yeah, thank you, Eric. We appreciate it. We appreciate the opportunity. Very exciting news today. We have the brand new Alpine i209 unit that's CarPlay and Android Auto. This is a unit that's very, very specific to go into your Wranglers. It's an all-weather unit. It has completely plug-and-play installation.
Okay.
For the unit.
So, first of all weather. So if you get stuck in the rain with your top off, you're not going to hurt this radio.
Nope, you're not. If you get in some type of rainstorm, whatever that it may be, it can rain on it, and you'll be fine.
Wow,
it also
awesome.
has a all-new screen that's on it that you can see when you have your top off or whatever that you may be driving through, that you can see very, very clearly the screen that's on it.
Okay, it cuts down the glare from the sun?
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
Okay, and you mentioned that this is factory compatible, so I mean, it's basically plug and play and all your steering wheel buttons work and everything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a black box that's included in it, and with this black box, it enables you to completely integrate into your Jeep Wrangler. You retain all your factory features like your steering wheel controls. You also get to maintain your tire pressure sensors, any warning lights, anything that you may come up, you can reset those all inside the unit.
Wow, that sounds like a really powerful radio.
Yeah, and it really is. And, more and more, we're using more of these, Eric, more of these smart devices. And be it whether that you're using an iPhone or if you're using the Android Auto, depending on whichever one that you're using, there's a USB and you can plug either one of them in so that you can get all those features and functions from those platforms.
Okay.
At the same time, this unit also works with Pandora, iHeartRadio, Spotify. You can also optionally, you can buy a Sirius Satellite XM radio tuner for it if you're doing things via satellite.
Okay, yeah, I know there's still a lot of people out there that have those Sirius and XM radio accounts, so that's great that you can incorporate that into the radio.
Yeah, you sure can, and at the same time also, speaking of all those different devices and all those types of things, there's also a HDMI input that you can have with this. There's also a rear view camera input. We know how important that is.
Okay, yeah, you guys actually make a Wrangler specific rear view camera that goes into the spare tire mount, is that right?
Yeah, we sure do. It'll plug in with that, or if you already have one that's existing, it has inputs for that as well.
Okay, so speaking of that HDMI input, so that basically means DVD, any type of multimedia device, like even like maybe a PlayStation, you can plug into that?
Yeah, any type of mobile multimedia type device that you may have that has HDMI input or output, you can input into the radio.
Wow, that is great.
And then you also have Bluetooth, of course. Also, you can use the cabling that comes with it, or if you that has your better quality of sound and things, or you can also have Bluetooth. That could be for your phone or your music.
Okay, wow. Now, earlier you guys were telling me that there's a lot of accessories that you can add to this. What are some of those features that you can actually do with this radio with those accessories?
Right. So with this unit, there's also there's two very common ones. We mentioned the camera that's specific to the Jeep Wrangler. We have that unit. Then we also have what's called the accessory controller. Accessory controller, we all have Jeeps, we all have tons of devices, whether it's lights or this or that, whatever that it may be. And actually through the face of the unit, you can turn up to 8 devices on or off. It can be switched, or it can be latched, or it can be pulsed.
That is amazing. So basically we're talking lights, you can control winch in and out, turn on or off a CB radio. I mean, basically anything that's electronic, this can control it.
You can turn on or off, yes.
Wow, that is amazing.
And that just takes another little controller piece that plugs into the back of the unit. And then also, if you, going back to the HDMI, let's say that you have multiple different HDMI type sources, then what you can do is you can buy a HDMI switcher and then switch between all those different devices as well.
Wow, that's great. So would you possibly be able to hook up more than one camera, like a reverse and maybe something underneath the axle, and you can switch between those inputs?
Yes, specifically, great question. Like in my Jeep, I have a front camera. I also have a side camera for the right. You know, obviously that's the one that's furthest away, and then also I have the Wrangler camera that's on the back.
Wow, that
so you can
is
hook
awesome.
up to 3 cameras.
Wow, that's great, guys. This is an amazing radio. It can simplify your life or make it more complicated with all the features that you can do with it. I know I'm a gear guy. I love to have options, so that's really great. Any more key features you want to talk about?
You know, there's so many different features and benefits that you can have with this unit. It's really kind of endless. It's very, very specific to Jeep Wrangler. Like I said before, probably the key features here is that your CarPlay and Android Auto. With this I unit, that's utilizing your navigation that's built into whatever device that you're using.
Okay, so that's actually a really good question. So there's no built-in navigation. That's going to be ran off of your device, either it's your Android or your iPhone.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that pretty much sums up the brand new Alpine i209 WRA. Again, a great radio. It's got a ton of features. Again, that accessory control is probably my favorite. I love having a ton of buttons to press. And then, of course, the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, where you can basically, your phone translates right to the radio, so all the apps, the messaging, everything like that, you can control right on the radio. Bill, thanks so much for coming. I learned a lot about this radio, and I hope the customers have learned too, because this is an amazing unit, and I really can't wait to get these in your guys' hands.
Thank you.